With all this nonsense that I've been seeing online about KSI, Logan Paul and Mr Beast's healthy lunchly, I'm going to show you my actually healthy lunch that I eat pretty much every day. And the first thing I've done is got all my ingredients out, and I'm going to be putting a carb in this bowl. And this is couscous because it's very easy to make. All you do is you pop a bit of boiling water in there, and you got yourself a base, and that is done. The next thing you got is your protein. Here I've got 150 grams of mince, and my frying pan's already been heated up. So I'm going to get some butter, which is very healthy to cook in. Shove that in the frying pan. Get that melted. We are done with that. And you can see I've got an arrangement of vegetables here. I just need to get myself a grater because we're going to be eating lots of veg with this meal. Actually healthy ingredients. And because the pan's already been heated up, our butter is melting nicely. So this is pretty quick to make. We're just going to be flinging on some mince now. This is about 150 grams from the local butcher. Great place to get your meat is your local butcher. The meat is so much higher quality than the meat in the supermarket. It tastes better, it looks better. And they're grass-fed cows as well. Where's a cloth? All right, so I've got to really quickly cut this mince up into little bits because we don't want it to cook in a giant lump. Once we've got this mince going, we'll attend to the vegetables. And you can see here, I also have some fruit to follow up with. Now the thing is, with a healthy meal, it doesn't need to be low in calories. You do have to eat. You've got to get your calories in. Forgot to turn the extractor fan on. You really got to get your calories in, especially if you are eating healthy, because it's hard to get your calories in if you're eating clean. Those of you who do eat clean can attest to that. Sometimes it can be hard to actually make sure you're still gaining weight. So you've got to have large amounts of food, high volume amount of food, much more than you think. Got a little fork here, fluff up the couscous. Right, so firstly I've got this cheeky grater. I've got a carrot, give it a rinse. Grate the hell out of it. And I really like the assortment of vegetables I got in this. When it all comes together, it tastes so nice and juicy and fresh. It's lovely. You see how quickly that is? There's just one little carrot. You can go for more if you wish. There we go, carrot done. Over here, we've got some garlic. And what I like to do is chuck some ground garlic on the mince. Just because I think it tastes lovely. You can add onions also, but we're going to be having spring onions in this meal. And I eat this every day for lunch. My actual healthy lunch. Oh, got a bit of mince there. I think it's once the mince is cooking, you've got to get a move on with your veg. So next I'm going to be cutting up a cucumber. Now the thing is, even if you don't like any of these particular things, yes, you can redact them. But the thing is, when they're all together, you can't really taste the individual parts. It just tastes like this fresh mass of nice vegetables. It really adds to everything. And what I like to do here, stack the cucumbers. So they're in a nice big pile. Oh, they slipped. How annoying. Plan was to cut them in half and then cut them in half again. And you get quadrants. And then you can further cut them if you wish. But for the most part, that's done. Then we've got ourselves a nice red pepper. Bell pepper is very high in vitamin C. I love eating them every day. And if you want to get it done quick, you can just tear it with your fingers. I'd like to give it a bash to get the seeds out. In fact, we'll do that just to show you. I'll just tear it up. Tear it into little bits. Just keep an eye on the mince during this. I do have some ground ginger in front of me. I'm going to be sprinkling that on once it all comes together. Get this pepper going. And we've got 3 radishes and an avocado. I'm going to be using half of that avocado. Just adds a creaminess. It's healthy fat. And we have some Parmigiano hard cheese, which again, just another thing that's filled with vitamins. And we are going to be adding electrolytes, much like I've been hearing Logan Paul, Mr Beast and KSI tout that they have electrolytes in their drink. We've got some good old-fashioned salt there. Could have added a bit more water to that couscous, but oh well. So with the radishes, I like to use this part of the grater, and you just go a bit crazy with that. Get it done in a few seconds. Kind of want to move that mince around now. Let's really quickly do that. Oh, it's smelling nice. The garlic really, really makes it smell nice. Now I'm a bit of a stickler for meat. I do tend to overcook it just because I'm a bit paranoid when it comes to meat. Again, you can cook this to whatever level that you like. And it is coming together. This will be done very shortly. It's a quick meal to make. But it can be a nice bit of high intensity action when you're trying to get all the ingredients together whilst the meat's cooking. And then you've just got to clear up afterwards. Let's get this done as fast as possible. Oh, radish is going absolutely everywhere. Okay, we will clear up, I promise. Right, let's add our cucumber in. Sprinkle of green. Oh, it's already feeling fresh. I'm getting the juices all over my hands. Let's do 2 spring onions. Give it a rinse. I like to cut off the nibs. You can eat all these bits, but I'm going to chop them off for now. Bit of a waste. Maybe I should just chuck them in. And if you are noticing I'm using a plastic cutting board, you can use a wooden one just to avoid getting microplastics in your food, but the wooden one we've got to use for meat, so I don't like to mix it. Everything's wrapped in plastic. Look, this is wrapped in plastic. It's hard to avoid plastic, I must admit. So for avocados, I like to get a butter knife, because if they are truly ripe, they should just cut through like butter. That's how you know that they're ready. If they're not ready, then they're rock hard. You sort of walk on that precipice between it being completely rotten and it being nice. This one is nice, and I just like to give it a bunch of slits and then scoop it out. Done. And what I like to do is just encase it back like that, pop it in the fridge. Now I do like to squeeze a lemon over the top, but we're pretty much out of lemon, which is a shame because it adds a nice quality. I've got a tiny bit of lemon, that's not going to do anything. Right, so I would say that the mince is safely cooked now, but just because I'm a paranoid kind of fella, we're going to overcook it. But that, I'll be honest, that does look cooked. There's no pink bits. It's starting to go all crispy because I'm frying it in butter. Let's add the carrot. This is looking really good, I'm not going to lie. And it's pretty much come together. Now I'm just going to sprinkle a bit of ginger in. You don't want to put too much, just a little sprinkle of ginger, why not? You don't really end up tasting it, but add something. I probably should stop cooking this mince. So for those of you who think this ain't enough protein, you could add an egg. You could just add more mince. I'm going to just turn the heat down on that. And that's pretty much it. Except we've got sprinkling of the cheese over the top, and secret ingredient is actually just a little handful of cashews. Sprinkle them in. Maybe even a couple more. This is already turning into a really, really hearty lunch. It looks fantastic. And I absolutely love it. One thing we can do while we're waiting is watermelon. So the watermelon is a bit big to take around with you. Let's use a big knife. This is my watermelon knife. All right, give it a chop. Chop yourself some nice slices. I am going to 100% take that mince off the heat. It's just turning into a crispy mush now. Try and chop it into small bits that'll fit in your lunchbox. Again, if you want to avoid microplastics, you can get yourself a steel lunchbox, which is what I really should have done And I have not. And there you go, you've got a lunchbox full of watermelon. In fact, it's not going to fit. Squish that in. And then here, banana and an apple. So really load up on the fruit. Let's get that crispy mince off. Whack that on. So that's more than done. And you can leave the melted butter in the pan. So there's some liquid still in there. And what I like to do before we proceed is actually just rinse it off now while it's hot, because that's the easiest time to clean it. Just really quickly clean that up with a soft sponge. There we go. I mean, look at that. That's already looking fantastic. Wow. That looks so yummy. I want to eat it right now. So I would typically use a lot larger bit of lemon, but let's turn the extractor fan off. Oh, wrong button. Let's just squeeze that on top, whatever we've got left here. This looks lovely. I actually can't wait to eat this. Then get your hard cheese. So this is just packed with vitamins, all sorts of vitamins. Particularly this is good for vitamin K. That's why I like to grate the cheese on. I don't particularly rate the flavour of the hard cheese too much. It's more a utility sort of thing. It's high in vitamin K and we want that. One thing I do like to do sometimes is, I'm getting into it now, it's actually adding a liver to it. Just cutting up little bits of liver in with the meat, you can't really taste it. And there you go. Other than tidying up, we are pretty much done. Can't forget our electrolytes. There you go. Bunch of salt, bit of pepper, and there you go. You get yourself a tasty bloody lunch. That looks fantastic to me. Wow. Much better than any pre-packaged crap that you can buy in the shop. So, my advice to you, don't buy a Lunchly. Don't even buy a Lunchable. Make your own bloody lunch. Thanks for watching.